destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waited for, it is a thing to be achieved. Ride 5 is a film about 5 friends who took upon the challenge to ride on one of the toughest terrains in India, the old Hindustan-Tibet road in the Lahore and Spiti valleys in Himachal Pradesh. This movie, more than an expedition, is also a film on the friendship amongst the riders, the bonds they formed along the way, the limits they pushed themselves to riding on their bikes, and the fun they had doing it all. Exploring a beautiful untouched part of India was a thrill. Each moment on their bikes was a pleasure. We hope that through this short film, you are also able to experience and participate in their ride.
So, let me introduce each one of us to you all. I am Dr. Gautam Shah, a practicing orthopedic surgeon from Dhule, Maharashtra. I love life and everything it has to offer. Bike riding has always been my passion. Each ride has been a memorable journey. This is Sonali Kalgaonkar, a fashion industry professional and a yoga teacher from Thane. She is an enthusiastic bike rider and has been riding bike since she was a teenager. Then we have Piyush Agrawal, my friend in the jewelry business from Bhusawal. Piyush is a very friendly and an outgoing person, and we have been going on bike rides together since some years now. Now introducing Mr. Chetan Pathak, Assistant Manager at the Apollo Group of Hospitals, Nagpur. This 29-year-old has always been a very willing participant for most of our bike rides. Dr. Nandakishore Pimpliskar, or Nandu, a medical officer from Dhule, is a young bike rider who eagerly awaits our adventurous trips. Miles and miles away from home, we were in the remotest areas of the Lahore and Spiti valleys. It took a lot of courage to think, plan and execute this ride of ours. It was only our past experiences with long bike rides and our collective team spirit which really egged us on to complete this great adventure which we had chosen for ourselves. The other reason apart from adventure was to see and explore India's hidden virgin territory within the mighty mysterious Himalayas.
I'm on my way to Ponta Sahib and then to Ambala. From there we start, I meet all my friends and we start our trip to Lahore and Spiti.
The ride began from Ambala in Haryana, where the bikes had been transported in advance. With our morning prayers and aarti, we set off from Ambala to leave for Narkanda.
We are now moving from Ambala towards Narkanda via Shimla, and all my friends and myself are on our way.
How are you feeling? Good?
Great, how was your ride so far?
Yeah, so far so good. It's been good. The weather is nice now. It's become pleasant. Very hot when we started actually in the morning. Quite pleasant now, and we hope to reach Narkanda by say 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm happy riding alone safely. Hi, it's nice to
have come to Shimla once again, and I hope a very pleasant stay at Narkanda.
Now we just crossed Thiog. The roads are pretty sad because of the rains, and we do have a lot of bumps, but at times the roads are okay. We just managed to cross Kufri and Thiog, and now we are on the way to Narkanda. We hope to go to Narkanda, Hatu Peak tomorrow morning, so we're going to crash off soon tonight.
Terrifically tired. What to say, I don't know, but I just now put my thermal wear inside and feeling good. Thanks.
Riding to Hatu Peak itself was a challenge, as the road was very narrow and steep. But once we scaled it to the peak, it was like being in a different world, literally on top of the world. Hatu Peak is at a height of 11,000 feet, 5 kilometers away from Narkanda. Right at the top of the peak is the ancient Hatu Mata temple, which offers spectacular views of the Shivalik ranges which surround Narkanda. After leaving Narkanda, we reached Rampur, where I had a major motorbike breakdown. The push rod was broken, but to my good luck, the mechanics got my bike repaired within a short time, and again we were off to Sarhand. Sarhand is the gateway of Kinnor. It houses the famous Bhimkali temple, which is built in a mixture of Hindu and Buddhist styles. The famous Srikhand peak, revered as the home of goddess Lakshmi, is also visible from Sarhand. Rakcham in Kinnaur district, Himachal, is located between Sangla and Chitkul. It was one of the most beautiful villages we ever saw. Chitkul is the last village of India, 10 kilometers from Rakcham on the Tibet border. Hi, we are at Rakcham. We just went to Chitkul and we came back to Rakcham. This place is much more beautiful and very cute. We opted to stay in the tents today. This is the small town of Rakcham. Hi Piyush. So how do you feel?
I'm also tired.
Yeah, good ride today. Morning. This is 6 in the morning. We are in Rakcham. And that's the view. Here you can see this JCB machine is clearing the muck. It was during our return journey from Rakcham when we stumbled upon this sadhu, the man in the mountains. Eager to absorb new ideas and new thoughts, we engaged him in conversation.
2001 मध्ये 2012 होऊन गेले.
12 गंगोत्री माझा ग्रुप प्लेस आहे. गंगोत्री टू गौमुख 9 किलोमीटर चिडवासा. जन्मभूमी माझी गुजरातची आहे. जिल्हा राजकोट, तहसील मोरबी. आई वडील महाराष्ट्रचे आहेत.
ગુજરાતી બોલો છો?
ગુજરાતી સારી રીતે બોલી દઉં. વાંકાનેર જન્મભૂમિ છે, વાંકાનેર પરશુરામપુર. તો મુંબઈમાં રહ્યો, પૂરા ભારતમાં રહ્યો, વિદેશમાં ફર્યો, अमेरिका, फ्रँकफर्ट.
पण मग सेल्स मध्ये होता ना?
तिथे सेल्स ऑफिसर. कंपनी खर्च करायची ना, मला त्यांच्याबरोबर राहायचं. खर्च त्यांचा, मी बरोबर आहे त्यांचे.
पण मग ते सोडून इथे कसे काय एकदम?
आई वडील गेल्यानंतर काय करायचं?
लग्न
नाही गेलं. ते होते तेव्हा नाही केलं, तर आता काय करायचं होतं? सगळं वैराग घ्या म्हटलं. वैरागमध्ये शांती आहे, एकांत मस्त शांती जागा आहे. आणि वैरागी संप्रदायामध्ये कोणी पण महात्मा हो, त्याला अशा केंद्रामध्ये राहायला पाहिजे. खाली काय आहे तिच्या यायला? खाली तुमच्यासाठी येतो त्याच्या ह्याच्यात राहायला पाहिजे. त्यामुळे
अवघड नाही वाटलं सुरुवातीला?
नाही काही नाही. मी ह्याच्यावरून कठीण यामध्ये 6 वर्ष राहिलो ना. तिथे 25 फूट बर्फ पडतोय
गौमुखला.
तिथे 6 वर्ष प्रॅक्टिस घेतली ना. मेडिटेशन मॉर्निंग टाइम सकाळी 4ला. 4ला देवी उठायचं. तिथे असतो तर, नाही तर मग गेलं.
किती तास करता तुम्ही?
सकाळी 4ला उठलं 1 तास, 1.5 तास, 2 तास, जास्ती नाही. सकाळी मग
बाकीचा पूर्ण दिवस?
मग सकाळ पूर्ण दिवस बिझी आहे ना. प्रसाद कोण वाटेल? 1000-1500 रोजचा प्रसाद वाटायचा. दुनिया पूर्ण वर्ल्ड येतोय जातोय. कोणी प्रसाद घेत आहे, कोणी गुजराती, कोणी मराठी, कोणी बंगाली. पूर्ण भारत आणि वर्ल्ड फुल कंट्री येते जाते. टुरिझम सेंटर केलं आहे. चितपूर तर अशी जागा आहे ना, बहुत सारी जगह आहे चितपूर. जावा
Hearing his life story, we realized that he was also like the monk who had sold his Ferrari. Been there and done that with money, civilization and people. He finally renounced it all, just like that. He said he was at peace now with himself, with the world, and happy in these natural surroundings.
We have reached Kinnar Kailash at Kalpa village, one of the most beautiful places we have seen so far, and we say that every day.
Good. Kinnaur, the land of fairy tales and fantasies. Kinnaur has a spectacular terrain and lush green valleys, fruit orchards, snow-clad peaks and cold desert mountains. This tribal district of Himachal is around 250 kilometers away from Shimla. Kalpa is a beautiful and the main village of Kinnaur. The majestic mountains of the Kinnar Kailash range are visible from there. It is a feast for the eyes and the senses early in the morning as the rising sun touches the snowy peaks with crimson and golden rays. below. The scenery is changing now. On the way to Nako. This reminds me of Nakna's goal.
Hi, we are on the way to Nako. How far? Only 30 kilometers.
Yes. Well, we are just about 5 kilometers away from Gaza. You can see these formations here. You can see these mountains. They have got vertical streaks. That's because of the strong wind. Spiti Monastery is the biggest and oldest monastery in Spiti Valley. Gompa, or a solitary place, was the building where monks could isolate themselves from the world to further their meditative process. Gompas were therefore built in remote locations. The growing acceptance of Buddhism and the patronage it received from the state led to Gompas evolving into large, magnificent edifices that serve both as places of worship for devotees and residents and teaching centers for monks. Kaza is the capital of Spiti Valley and is situated along the Spiti River at a height of 12,000 feet above sea level, making it a cold mountain desert. It has close similarities to the neighboring Tibet and Ladakh region in terms of terrain, climate and Buddhist culture. This town is known for its stunning 360-degree views all around. It is a must visit for all adventure and nature lovers.
Good morning. We've left Kaza at 7:30 in the morning. We are on our way to Manali. Manali is about 200 kilometers from Kaza. Here you can see such barren land, absolutely no vegetation, and this is a small town. So on the way to Kunzum Pass. This reminds me of the film by Gautam Shah, riding solo on top of the world. The terrain is exactly the same. So beautiful.
Kaza is the last point before one moves towards Manali and joins the famous Manali-Leh road. This leads us to Kunzum Pass at a height of 15,000 feet. The ride through Kunzum Pass is considered to be an epic ride for all bikers.
temple of Kunjum Devi. We have to do parikrama before we cross the Kunjumla pass.
शाकंभरी सदाक्षी माता दुर्गा गौरी हिमगिरी जाता उमा छठी चंडी जगदम्बा काली तारा जगवलम 100 वर्षिन का पड़ा काला मुनिगम से मिरो हो बेहाला प्रकटीकरण.
There comes our truck.
अवनी सतलोचनी सकमूल फल्लभी शूद्र पिशा हरली सरसों का नाम सताक्षी सब जग जाना शाकंभरी मां दयान भान दुर्गम नाम बेकती का
Riding on these roads would involve some reasonably tough moments, but a totally awesome riding experience. This mother of all rides is guaranteed to remain etched in our memories forever. The journey by any means was not an easy one, since most parts of the road are at a high altitude. Altitude sickness, lack of oxygen at that height, headaches, dizziness, these were part of the daily routine. In addition, the number of miles one can cover in a day depends on the road and weather conditions. Also, the few places one can stay en route are far and few in between. The road to Lahaul and Spiti is on the same trail used by the people going through the Silk Route centuries ago. It passes through some of the most breathtaking, beautiful, overwhelming landscapes found on earth.
On the way to Grampu. This is the Rohtang Pass. It's not much of snow here. 6 o'clock in the evening. Still have a couple of hours to go to Manali. It's just below Rohtang. Amazing it is. The road conditions are pretty bad now.
today is the last ride and we are starting off from Manali. It's 7 in the morning and we hit Ambala today and that's the end of it. We hope to reach by say 7 o'clock, load the bikes back on Gati Transport and take tomorrow morning's train.
सैर कर दुनिया की गालिब ये जिंदगी फिर कहा, जिंदगानी गर रही तो नौजवानी फिर कहा. Two roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference.
पकड़ेगा ना, पॉज करो इसको. हाँ